Life is unpredictable. You will face obstacles. You will face disappointment. You will face moments where everything in you wants to react, wants to fight back, wants to panic, wants to run. But hear me when I say this, a calm mind is a powerful mind. See, Eddie can be calm when things are easy. Anybody can smile when the sun is shining, when the money is flowing, when the plan is working. But what happens when life throws you a storm? What happens when you get hit with something you didn't expect? That's where the real battle is. Not outside, not in the situation, but right here in your mind. You have to train yourself, discipline yourself to be calm in every situation. Because when emotions take over, when fear takes control, when anger blinds you, you lose. You lose clarity, you lose control. And when you lose control, you make mistakes. You say things you can't take back. You make choices you regret. A calm mind is not something you are simply born with it. It's something you train, something you develop, something you work on every single day. It is a skill just like anything else. People assume that some individuals are naturally calm, naturally composed. But the truth is, those who appear unshaken in the face of adversity have trained themselves to be that way. They have built the ability to control their reactions, to steady their breathing, to slow their racing thoughts, and to see things with clarity instead of chaos. Think about the most powerful individuals in history, the ones who led nations, built empires, and overcame impossible odds. Were they the ones who panicked, who let fear dictate their decisions? No, they were the ones who remained calm when everything around them was falling apart. Because a calm mind sees what others do not. A calm mind is able to focus when others are distracted. A calm mind is able to make decisions that are grounded in wisdom, not in fear. When you allow emotions to control you, you become reactive. You make choices based on temporary feelings rather than long-term logic. You speak words you regret. You take actions that don't serve you. And once you react emotionally, you give up control. You give that control to whatever is triggering you. If someone makes you angry and you lash out, they are in control, not you. If a situation stresses you out and you break down, that situation owns you. But when you are calm, truly calm, nothing owns you. Nothing controls you. You are the master of yourself. Training your mind to be calm does not mean you won't feel emotions. It does not mean you won't have moments of frustration, anger, or fear. It means that when those emotions come, you recognize them, but you do not let them dictate your actions. You observe them, you acknowledge them, and then you decide consciously what the best course of action is. There is a reason the greatest warriors, the greatest strategists, the greatest leaders practice stillness. In the midst of battle, in the midst of chaos, the one who stays calm is the one who sees the path forward. The one who stays calm is the one who survives. The one who stays calm is the one who wins. Imagine you are in a high-pressure situation. Maybe it's a crucial moment in your career. Maybe it's a personal crisis. Maybe it's a moment where you are being tested in ways you never expected. Your heart is racing, your mind is scattered. Your emotions are telling you to react instantly, to fight back, to run, to panic. But if you allow yourself to give in to that state, you will make mistakes. You will overlook important details. You will let fear control your choices. But if you can pause, if you can breathe, if you can slow yourself down and focus, suddenly you see things more clearly. You think logically instead of emotionally. You take control of the situation instead of the situation taking control of you. This is why elite soldiers, athletes, and top performers in every field spend so much time training their minds. They don't just prepare physically. They prepare mentally. They practice staying calm under pressure because they know that pressure will come. They know that at some point they will be tested. And in that moment, it will not be strength alone that determines the outcome. It will be the ability to remain calm. There is also power in patience. A calm mind does not rush. A calm mind does not make impulsive decisions. A calm mind understands that the right moment, the right opportunity, the right action will come, but only if you are willing to wait for it. So many people fail not because they lack talent, not because they lack potential, but because they let impatience drive them into the wrong decisions. They want instant results, they want instant gratification. And in that rush, they miss the bigger picture. But a calm mind plays the long game. A calm mind is not swayed by temporary setbacks. A calm mind understands that control is not about force, it is about discipline. Discipline is what keeps you from reacting when someone tries to provoke you. Discipline is what keeps you from making rash decisions when things don't go your way. Discipline is what allows you to stay focused when everything around you is a distraction. That is what makes a calm mind powerful. It is not weak. It is not passive. It is control. And control, real control, is the greatest power you can have. We live in a world that thrives on urgency, on immediate reactions, on instant emotional responses. Social media, the news, the world around us is constantly pushing us to react without thinking, to respond without reflection. But the real power is in stepping back, in observing and understanding that not every battle is worth fighting, not every situation deserves a reaction, and not every moment of adversity is something that should shake you. A calm mind allows you to see things for what they really are. It allows you to separate what matters from what does not. It allows you to focus your energy where it is needed instead of wasting it on things that do not serve you. How many times have people lost opportunities, lost relationships, lost control of their lives simply because they reacted too quickly, too emotionally, too recklessly? How many times have people made decisions in a moment of anger or fear that they later regretted? All because they lacked the ability to stay calm. But the good news is, you can train this, you can develop this, you can practice this every day. It starts with small moments. When you feel frustrated, instead of reacting, pause. When you feel the urge to speak in anger, hold back. When you feel overwhelmed, focus on your breath. Every time you do this, you strengthen your mind. Every time you do this, you build power over yourself. The strongest person in the room is not the one who yells the loudest. That is not the one who reacts the quickest. It is the one who stays calm no matter what. The one who stays composed while everyone else is losing control. The one who remains steady while the storm rages around them, because when you are calm, you are clear. When you are clear, you are in control. And when you are in control, you have already won. Control your emotions or they will control you. This is one of the most important lessons in life. Every single day you are faced with situations that test your patience, your temper, your fear, your doubt. And every single day you have a choice. You either control your emotions or you let them control you. The difference between those who succeed and those who fall apart is not talent, it is not luck, it is not intelligence. It is the ability to master emotions instead of being mastered by them. Think about the last time you reacted emotionally. Maybe someone said something that got under your skin and you lashed out. Maybe a situation didn't go your way and you let frustration take over. Maybe fear crept into your mind, and instead of pushing forward, you ran from the opportunity. How did that reaction serve you? Did it help? Or did it make things worse? Most of the time, when emotions take over, we do things that we later regret. We say things we can't take back. We make choices that put us in a worse position. We allow a moment of weakness to define our actions. But the truth is, emotions are temporary. They come and go like waves in the ocean. They rise, they crash, they disappear. But if you allow yourself to be ruled by those waves, you will never have stability. You will be tossed around by whatever comes your way. You will be at the mercy of every little thing that happens to you. Someone insults you, and suddenly your whole mood changes. Something doesn't go as planned, and now your whole day is ruined. A little fear creeps in, and now you stop chasing your goals. That is what it means to be controlled by emotions. It means you are not in charge. Your feelings are. The strongest people, the most successful people, the most disciplined people do not let emotions dictate their actions. They feel the same emotions as everyone else, but they do not let those emotions drive the car. They recognize when fear, anger, frustration, or doubt is present, but they do not allow those feelings to make decisions for them, because emotions are irrational, they are impulsive, they are driven by the moment, not by logic, not by wisdom, not by long-term thinking. And if you let them lead, they will lead you into chaos. This is why emotional control is so important. It does not mean you suppress emotions. It does not mean you ignore how you feel. It means you acknowledge those emotions without allowing them to take over. If you feel anger, you recognize it, but you do not let it make you reckless. If you feel fear, you acknowledge it, but you do not let it stop you from taking action. If you feel doubt, you hear it, but you do not allow it to dictate your potential. You separate what you feel from what you do. Because here's the thing, your emotions are not always telling you the truth. Your emotions are based on past experiences, on past traumas, on things that may not even be relevant to your current situation. Your mind might tell you to panic in a situation where calmness is required. Your emotions might tell you to walk away when you need to stand firm. Your feelings might scream at you to quit when you are only moments away from a breakthrough. If you listen to them without questioning them, you will make mistakes. But if you take a step back and look at things with clarity, you will make the right decisions. This is why mastering emotional control takes practice. It is not something that happens overnight. It is something you must train, just like a muscle. Every time you feel an emotion rising up inside you, instead of reacting, pause. Observe it. Ask yourself, is this emotion helping me right now, or is it controlling me? Most of the time, you will find that reacting emotionally would only make things worse. The person who can remain calm in stressful situations is always the one who comes out on top. Think about a leader in a crisis. Imagine two people in the same difficult situation. One person is panicked, angry, frustrated, losing control. The other person is calm, thinking clearly, focused on solutions. Who do you think will handle the problem better? Who do you think people will trust? Who do you think will succeed? The person who controls their emotions, not the person who lets their emotions control them. It's the same in everyday life. If you argue with someone and they are yelling, being aggressive, trying to provoke you, but you remain calm, who has the power? You do. Because they are not out of control. But you, and if you are negotiating important, whether it's in business or in life, and you stay calm while the other person lets their emotions take over, who do you think will win? The calm one. The one who can think logically. The one who is not ruled by temporary feelings. People often assume that being emotional means being passionate. That is not true. Passion is control. Passion is directed energy. Passion is focused. Emotional outbursts, on the other hand, are scattered energy. They drain you. They make you unpredictable. They cause you to lose sight of what really matters. If you want to be passionate about something, be passionate, but do not let your emotions make decisions for you. Passion should fuel your discipline, not replace it. The world is filled with people who lost opportunities because they could not control their emotions. Athletes who threw a tantrum and got ejected from the game. Professionals who lost their temper and ruined a deal. Leaders who let fear stop them from taking necessary risks. People who let doubt hold them back from their true potential. Every time you allow emotions to control you, you are giving away your power. You are letting something temporary dictate something permanent. The most successful people know how to stay steady. They know how to take the hit without reacting emotionally. They know how to handle pressure without breaking down. They know how to hear criticism without letting it destroy their confidence. They know how to face fear without letting it control their actions. That is real strength. That is what it means to be powerful. Emotional control is not about being cold. It is not about being unfeeling. It is about being intentional. It is about knowing that the way you respond to situations determines the outcome. If you let anger take over, you make enemies. If you let fear take over, you miss opportunities. If you let frustration take over, you waste energy on things that do not serve you. But if you stay calm, if you remain in control, you make better choices. You see things clearly. You act based on strategy, not impulse. The key is awareness. You must be aware of your emotional triggers. You must be aware of what sets you off, what makes you react without thinking. And once you identify those triggers, you must train yourself to pause. Instead of reacting immediately, take a breath. Instead of letting emotions dictate your response, take a moment to assess the situation. Is this something that truly deserves your energy? Is this something that will matter in a week, in a month, in a year? Most of the time, the answer is no. When you learn to control your emotions, you gain a level of freedom that most people will never experience. You are no longer a prisoner to the way you feel. You are no longer at the mercy of your environment. You are no longer someone who can be easily manipulated, easily provoked, easily thrown off course. You are in charge of yourself. You decide how you respond. You decide what deserves your attention and what does not. That is what separates those who succeed from those who struggle. That is what separates the strong from the weak. That is what separates those who lead from those who follow. Breathe, pause, and gain perspective. These three simple actions can change the way you handle any situation in life. The moment something challenges you, the moment something doesn't go as planned, the moment frustration, anger, or fear tries to take over, you have a choice. You can react, or you can take control. And the way you take control starts with something as simple as your breath. Breathing is something most people take for granted. It happens automatically without thought, without effort. But the way you breathe directly affects the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you respond to the world. When stress hits, when fear kicks in, when you start to feel overwhelmed, your breath changes. It becomes shallow, rapid, uncontrolled. Your body enters a state of fight or flight. Your muscles tense, your heart races, your mind starts to spiral. You stop thinking clearly. And in that moment, you become a victim of your emotions. But if you can control your breath, you control your mind. Slow, deep breaths send a signal to your body that you are in control. They tell your nervous system to calm down. They pull you out of the cycle of fear, out of the spiral of anger, out of the haze of stress. It may seem too simple, too small to make a difference, but it is the foundation of mental control. The strongest, most disciplined, most focused people in the world use their breath to center themselves in the middle of pressure, in the middle of chaos. Elite athletes, military leaders, top performers in every field all understand that if you can control your breathing, you can control your response to any situation. The next step is the pause. Most people react too quickly. Something happens and without thinking they respond. Someone says something disrespectful and they snap back and a situation doesn't go their way and they get frustrated. They allow their emotions to take over before they've even had a chance to assess what's really happening. But the pause is where power exists. The pause is where you separate reaction from response. When you pause, you give yourself space to think. You give yourself a moment to decide how you want to handle the situation. That moment, that small gap between stimulus and response is where control is found. Most of the mistakes people make in life come from reacting too quickly. They send a text they regret. They say words they can't take back. They make a decision in the heat of the moment that costs them in the long run. But if they had just paused, if they had given themselves even 5 seconds to breathe, to think, to reset, they could have handled things differently. A calm mind doesn't rush. A calm mind doesn't jump to conclusions. A calm mind takes a moment to observe before acting. Gaining perspective is the final step. Most of the things that upset people are not as big as they seem in the moment. Most of the fears that take over the mind never actually come true. Most of the problems that feel overwhelming are temporary. But in the moment, they feel massive. They feel like the end of the world. They feel like something you have to fix right now. And that's because emotions cloud perspective. When you're caught up in frustration, in anger, in fear, you see things from a narrow, limited point of view. You're looking at the problem, not the bigger picture. You're looking at the immediate difficulty, not the long-term lesson. Perspective allows you to step back. It allows you to see things clearly without emotional distortion. It allows you to ask yourself, is this really worth my energy? Will this matter in a week? A month? A year? Most of the time, the answer is no. Most of the things people get worked up over are small in the grand scheme of life. But when you lack perspective, those small things feel enormous. When you lack perspective, you waste time and energy on things that do not serve you. One of the most powerful things you can do in any stressful situation is to step outside of yourself for a moment. Imagine you are giving advice to someone else. A friend came to you with the same problem. What would you tell them? Would you tell them to react emotionally, to panic, to get angry, to let their feelings dictate their actions? Or would you tell them to breathe, to pause, to look at the bigger picture? Most of the time, the advice we would give to someone else is different from the way we react in our own lives. And that's because we have perspective when we look at other people's situations. We can see their situation clearly because we are not emotionally attached to it. The challenge is to do the same thing in your own life. To step back and view things with the same clarity you would have if it wasn't happening to you. When you master these three things, breathing, pausing, and gaining perspective, you become unshakable. You are no longer thrown off course by every little inconvenience, by every little problem, by every little thing that doesn't go as planned. You develop the ability to stay steady no matter what. And when you stay steady, you make better decisions. You see opportunities where others see obstacles. You respond with wisdom instead of reacting with emotion. The ability to stay calm in difficult situations is not something you are born with. It is something you develop through practice. Every time you feel frustration rising, every time stress starts to take over, every time you find yourself in a situation that tests your patience, you have an opportunity to train yourself. Instead of reacting, take a deep breath. Instead of letting emotions control you, pause. Instead of focusing on the problem, step back and gain perspective. At first, it will be difficult. The habit of reacting emotionally is deeply ingrained in most people. But over time, with practice, it becomes second nature. Eventually, you will find yourself handling situations that used to shake you with complete composure. You will find yourself making better choices, handling pressure with ease, staying calm while others around you lose control. There will always be challenges. There will always be difficult people. There will always be situations that test your patience, that test your discipline, that test your ability to remain calm. But no matter what happens outside of you, you always have the ability to control what happens inside of you. And when you control your inner world, the outer world has no power over you. Your mind is your greatest weapon, but only if you learn how to control it. Most people go through life without ever realizing the power they hold within themselves. They allow their thoughts to run wild, their emotions to dictate their actions, and their fears to keep them from reaching their full potential. But the truth is, your mind can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. It all depends on whether you take control of it or let it control you. Think about this. Every action you take, every decision you make starts in your mind. Before you speak, before you move, before you do anything, there is a thought. That thought shapes your reality. If you think weak thoughts, you will act weak. If you think fearful thoughts, you will live in fear. If you think doubtful thoughts, you will hesitate and miss opportunities. But if you train your mind to be strong, to be disciplined, to be focused, you will move through life with power. Training your mind is like training a muscle. It does not happen overnight. It takes consistent effort. It takes discipline. It takes awareness. You have to be intentional about what you allow to take root in your mind. Most people feed their minds with negativity. They surround themselves with distractions, with doubt, with fear. They let the opinions of others dictate their beliefs about themselves. They allow past failures to define their future. They fill their minds with thoughts that weaken them instead of thoughts that strengthen them. But you have a choice. You can decide what you allow into your mind. You can decide what thoughts you accept and what thoughts you reject. You can decide to train your mind to work for you instead of against you. And it starts with awareness. You have to become aware of the thoughts that run through your mind on a daily basis. Are they thoughts of strength or thoughts of weakness? Are they thoughts that build you up or thoughts that tear you down? Are they thoughts that push you forward or thoughts that hold you back? Most people do not even realize how much negative self-talk is running through their minds every single day. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. What if I fail? These thoughts create limits. They create hesitation. They create fear. And if you do not control them, they will control you. But once you become aware of them, you can start to change them. You can replace them with thoughts of strength. I can handle this. I am capable. I will find a way. These are the thoughts that build confidence. These are the thoughts that give you power. Your mind will believe whatever you feed it. If you constantly tell yourself that you are weak, that you are not capable, that you are not good enough, your mind will accept that as truth. But if you tell yourself that you are strong, that you are resilient, that you are capable of handling anything life throws at you, your mind will start to believe that too. And once your mind believes it, your actions will follow. But it is not just about the words you say to yourself. It is also about the things you focus on. Whatever you focus on grows. If you focus on problems, you will see more problems. If you focus on obstacles, they will seem bigger than they really are. If you focus on fear, it will consume you. But if you focus on solutions, you will find them. If you focus on opportunities, they will appear. If you focus on possibilities instead of limitations, you will start to see doors open that you never even knew existed. This is why it is so important to guard your mind. Be careful what you allow in. The people you surround yourself with, the things you listen to, the things you watch, all of these things are shaping your mind whether you realize it or not. If you are constantly around negative people, if you are constantly consuming negative information, if you are constantly filling your mind with things that bring you down instead of things that lift you up, how can you expect to think with strength? Your environment matters. Your habits matter. Your discipline matters. You have to be intentional about what you feed your mind. Read things that inspire you. Listen to things that motivate you. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better. Cut out anything that weakens you, that distracts you, that pulls you away from your purpose. Because every time you expose your mind to negativity, you are training it to be weak. And every time you expose it to strength, to discipline, to positivity, you are training it to be strong. Training your mind also means training yourself to handle adversity. Life will test you. It will throw challenges your way. It will not always be easy. There will be moments when things do not go as planned. There will be moments of failure, moments of doubt, moments where you feel like giving up. But the way you respond to those moments is what separates the strong from the weak. The weak allow adversity to break them. The strong use adversity to build them. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to train your mind. When things get hard, do you complain or do you look for a way through? When you fail, do you give up or do you learn and come back stronger? When doubt creeps in, do you let it stop you or do you push forward anyway? These are the moments where mental strength is built. These are the moments where you prove to yourself what you are capable of. Most people avoid discomfort. They avoid struggle. They avoid anything that forces them to step outside of their comfort zone. But that is where growth happens. If you never challenge your mind, it will remain weak. If you never put yourself in situations that require strength, you will never develop it. You have to seek out discomfort. You have to push yourself beyond what feels easy. You have to train your mind to handle pressure, to handle stress, to handle anything life throws at you. And the only way to do that is through repetition. You have to practice discipline every single day. You have to build habits that strengthen your mind, not weaken it. You have to wake up every day with the intention of getting stronger, of getting better, of pushing yourself beyond where you were yesterday. Because mental strength is not built in a single moment. It is built through consistency. It is built through daily effort. It is built through the choices you make every single day. When you train your mind, everything in your life changes. You stop being controlled by fear. You stop being distracted by things that do not matter. You stop allowing small problems to shake you. You develop an unshakable confidence that allows you to move through life with purpose, with focus, with power. You become someone who is not easily influenced, not easily discouraged, not easily thrown off course. You become the kind of person who can handle anything. But it all starts with a decision. A decision to take control of your thoughts. A decision to be intentional about what you allow into your mind. A decision to stop making excuses and start building discipline. A decision to stop letting weakness run your life and start strengthening your mind every single day. Because at the end of the day, the strength of your mind determines the strength of your life. And the only person who can train it is you. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the foundation of success, the key to mastering your mind, and the tool that separates those who reach their potential from those who settle for less. Without discipline, talent means nothing. Without discipline, dreams. Without discipline, emotions control actions, distractions take over, and progress becomes impossible. But when you build discipline, when you commit to doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the circumstances, you become unstoppable. Most people struggle with discipline because they rely on motivation. They wait until they feel like doing something before they do it. They wait for inspiration, for energy, for the perfect moment. But discipline is not about feelings. It is about commitment. It is about doing what needs to be done even when you do not want to do it. It is about showing up every single day no matter what, because the truth is motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Some days you will wake up energized, ready to take on the world. Other days you will feel tired, uninspired, unmotivated. And if you only take action when you feel like it, you will never be consistent. You will never build momentum. You will never reach your full potential. Discipline is what allows you to keep going even when motivation fades. It is what allows you to stay focused even when distractions tempt you. It is what allows you to push through discomfort, to work when others rest, to stay committed when others quit. And it is something you must build, something you must train, something you must reinforce every single day. It starts with small choices. Most people think discipline is about massive sacrifices, about making huge changes overnight. But real discipline is built in the small moments. It is built in the decision to wake up early instead of sleeping in. It is built in the decision to work when you feel like relaxing. It is built in the say no to distractions, to stay focused on your goals, to do what is difficult instead of what is easy. And every time you make the disciplined choice, you reinforce your strength. Every time you choose self-control over instant gratification, you build the muscle of discipline. But just like any muscle, discipline weakens when it is not used. Every time you make an excuse, every time you choose comfort over growth, every time you procrastinate, you weaken your ability to stay disciplined. This is why so many people struggle to stay consistent. They allow small lapses in discipline to become habits. They let themselves off the hook too often. They tell themselves they will start tomorrow, that one missed day doesn't matter, that one small excuse won't make a difference. But discipline is not about what you do sometimes, it is about what you do consistently. One of the biggest killers of discipline is distraction. In today's world, there are more distractions than ever. Social media, entertainment, notifications, endless streams of information pulling your attention in 100 different directions. Most people do not lack the ability to be disciplined. They lack the ability to stay focused. They spend their days reacting instead of creating. They allow their time to be controlled by external forces instead of directing it with intention. And then they wonder why they never make real progress, why they never achieve their goals, why they always feel stuck. If you want to build discipline, you have to take control of your time. You have to eliminate distractions. You have to be intentional about what you focus on. Because where your focus goes, your energy flows. If you spend your time scrolling, consuming, wasting hours on things that do not move you forward, do not be surprised when you find yourself in the same place year after year. Discipline means choosing priorities over impulses. It means training yourself to stay locked in on what matters, no matter how many distractions try to pull you away. Discipline is also about mastering your emotions. Most people let their emotions dictate their actions. If they feel tired, they rest. If they feel unmotivated, they procrastinate. If they feel discouraged, they give up. But the disciplined person does not let emotions control them. They act based on commitment, not on feelings. They understand that feelings are temporary, but actions create results. They understand that their mind will try to convince them to take the easy path, but they refuse to listen. They do what needs to be done, no matter what. There will be days when you do not feel like putting in the work. There will be days when you feel like quitting, when progress feels slow, when doubt creeps in. And those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments when discipline is tested. Because anyone can be disciplined when things are easy. Anyone can stay committed when they are motivated. But true discipline is revealed in the difficult moments. True discipline is about showing up when it is inconvenient, when it is uncomfortable, when it feels impossible. That is where real strength is built. Discipline is also about delayed gratification. Most people want results now. They want success without struggle. They want progress without patience. But anything worth achieving takes time. Anything great requires consistent effort over long periods. And the reason most people fail is not because they are incapable, it is because they are impatient. They expect instant results. And when they do not see immediate progress, they quit. But the disciplined person understands that success is a long game. They understand that every effort, every sacrifice, every small step forward compounds over time. They do not get discouraged by slow progress because they trust the process. They know that if they stay consistent, if they keep showing up, if they keep doing the work, results will come. They understand that every workout, every study session, every disciplined action is a deposit into their future success. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. They set unrealistic expectations, and when they do not see immediate results, they give up. But discipline is about playing the long game. It is about committing to the process, no matter how long it takes. It is about doing the work day in and day out, trusting that every effort is moving you closer to your goal, even when you cannot see it yet. Building discipline requires self-awareness. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to recognize your weaknesses, your tendencies, your patterns. If you struggle with procrastination, you have to address it. If you get easily distracted, you have to create an environment that minimizes distractions. If you let emotions control your actions, you have to learn to separate feelings from decisions. Discipline is not something that just happens. It is something you have to cultivate. It is something you have to design into your life. And it is not about being perfect. Everyone has moments of weakness. Everyone has days when they slip up. But the difference between the disciplined and the undisciplined is what happens next. The undisciplined person lets one bad decision turn into a pattern. The disciplined person corrects themselves immediately. They recognize the mistake, they adjust, and they get back on track. They do not let one bad day turn into a bad week, a bad month, a bad year. They have the ability to reset, to refocus, to keep moving forward. At the core of discipline is self-respect. When you commit to something and follow through, you build confidence in yourself. You prove to yourself that you are capable, that you are reliable, that you can trust yourself to do what you say you will do. But every time you break your commitments, every time you make an excuse, every time you let yourself off the hook, you weaken that trust. You teach yourself that your word does not matter. And that lack of self-respect shows up in every area of your life. Discipline is the foundation of freedom. It may seem restrictive, it may seem difficult, but in reality, it is what allows you to create the life you want. When you are disciplined, you are not controlled by impulses, by distractions, by emotions. You are in control of your time, your actions, your future. You are the master of your own mind, and that is where true power lies. The way you talk to yourself determines the way you live your life. Every thought you think, every word you say to yourself is shaping your reality. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, of fear, of negativity, that is exactly what will take root. But if you plant seeds of strength, of confidence, of belief, you will see those qualities grow within you. Most people do not even realize the power their self-talk has over them. They go through life allowing negative thoughts to run on autopilot, not understanding that every one of those thoughts is reinforcing a belief, a mindset, a pattern that will dictate their actions and their results. If you want to change your life, you must start by changing the way you speak to yourself. Most people are their own worst enemy. They tell themselves they are not good enough, that they will never succeed, that they do not have what it takes. They focus on their weaknesses, on their failures, on their flaws. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they lack confidence, why they never seem to break through to the next level. The truth is, your mind believes what you tell it. If you constantly reinforce negative beliefs, your mind will accept them as truth. But if you consciously choose to speak to yourself with strength, with encouragement, with belief, your mind will begin to shift. It is not just about being positive. It is about being intentional. It is about deciding that you will no longer allow weakness to take up space in your mind. It is about training yourself to recognize negative self-talk and replace it with words that build you up instead of tear you down. This does not mean ignoring reality. It means choosing to focus on the thoughts that serve you, that empower you, that push you forward instead of holding you back. Your words create your world. Every time you say, I can't do this, you reinforce a mental barrier that makes it harder to take action. Every time you say, I'm not good enough, you confirm a false belief that keeps you from stepping into your potential. But every time you say, I can handle this, you reinforce confidence. Every time you say, I will find a way, you strengthen your resilience. Every time you say, I am capable, you rewire your brain to believe in yourself. This is why it is so important to become aware of your internal dialogue. Pay attention to the words you use when you talk to yourself. Are they words of power or words of weakness? Are they words of faith or words of fear? Are they words that push you forward or words that keep you stuck? Most people have spent years, even decades, reinforcing negative beliefs without even realizing it. But once you become aware, you can start to change. You can start to rewrite the narrative you have been telling yourself. And it is not enough to just think differently, you have to speak differently. There is power in the spoken word. When you say something out loud, you give it life, you make it real, you reinforce it in your mind. This is why affirmations work, why speaking with confidence changes the way you feel, why the words you use shape your identity. If you wake up every morning and say, I am strong, I am focused, I am disciplined, I can handle anything that comes my way, you will start to embody those qualities. But if you wake up and immediately say, I'm tired, I don't feel like doing this, I'm not sure if I can, you will reinforce weakness. The way you talk to yourself also affects the way you handle challenges. When adversity comes, do you tell yourself, this is too hard? I don't know if I can do this, or do you say, this is tough, but I will find a way? The words you choose in difficult moments determine whether you push through or give up. They determine whether you see obstacles as problems or as opportunities to grow. Your self-talk also influences how others see you. If you constantly speak with doubt, with hesitation, with insecurity, people will pick up on that energy. But if you speak with conviction, with confidence, with certainty, people will believe in you. They will see you as a leader, as someone who knows who they are and what they stand for. Your words create your presence. The way you carry yourself, the way you express yourself, the way you communicate, all of it starts with how you talk to yourself when no one else is listening. And this is not just about success, this is about peace. The way you speak to yourself determines the way you experience life. If your mind is constantly filled with criticism, with judgment, with self-doubt, you will never feel at ease. You will always feel like you are not enough, like you are falling short, like you are chasing something you can never catch. But if you learn to speak to yourself with kindness, with patience, with encouragement, you will find a sense of calm, a sense of confidence, a sense of inner strength that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Most people wait for external validation to feel good about themselves. They wait for others to tell them they are good enough, smart enough, capable enough. But true confidence does not come from outside approval. It comes from within. It comes from knowing that you are worthy, that you are capable, that you are enough regardless of what anyone else says. And that belief starts with the way you talk to yourself. This does not mean you ignore your flaws. It does not mean you pretend you are perfect. It means you acknowledge your weaknesses without letting them define you. It means you recognize where you need to improve without tearing yourself down. It means you speak to yourself the way you would speak to a close friend, honest but supportive, firm but encouraging. One of the most powerful things you can do is to replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Instead of saying, I always mess things up, say, I learn from my mistakes and get better every time. Instead of saying, I'm not good at this, say, I am improving and I will keep getting better. Instead of saying, I don't think I can do this, say, I have faced challenges before and I have overcome them. I will do it again. These small shifts in language make a massive difference. Over time, they reprogram your mind. They reshape your identity. They change the way you see yourself. And this is not just about talking positively, it is about talking truthfully. The truth is you are capable. You are strong. You do have what it takes. The problem is most people have spent so long telling themselves lies about their limitations that they believe them. But just as those negative beliefs were built over time, they can be dismantled and replaced with new, stronger beliefs. And the way you do that is through repetition, through daily commitment, through consistently choosing words that empower you instead of weaken you. Your mind is always listening. Every time you speak, you are programming it. You are reinforcing a belief about yourself, about your abilities, about what is possible for you. And over time, those beliefs become your reality. If you want to change your life, start by changing the way you talk to yourself. Start by choosing words that build you up instead of break you down. Start by speaking with strength, with confidence, with faith in yourself and your future. Because the way you talk to yourself will determine the way you show up in the world. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have, and the way you train it determines the course of your life. Every great achievement, every moment of strength, every breakthrough starts in the mind. The ability to remain calm in chaos, to push through adversity, to maintain discipline, to master self-talk, these are not qualities you are simply born with. They are qualities you develop. They are habits you cultivate. They are choices you make every single day. No one is exempt from challenges, from setbacks, from moments of doubt. But the difference between those who succeed and those who fall short is not talent, not luck, not circumstances, it is mindset. It is the ability to control the mind rather than be controlled by it. Most people allow life to dictate how they feel. They let circumstances determine their peace. If things are going well, they feel good. If things are difficult, they feel defeated. But true strength, true mastery, true success comes when you learn to regulate your mind regardless of the external world. It comes when you develop the ability to stay calm under pressure, to remain focused in uncertainty, to persist even when progress seems slow. And that is a skill. That is something you train. The problem is that most people do not train their mind. They let it run on autopilot. They let fear control their actions. They let doubt dictate their choices. They let distraction steal their time. And then they wonder why they never break through to the next level, why they always feel stuck, why they are never able to fully step into their potential. But the truth is, you cannot afford to leave your mind untrained. You cannot afford to let weakness, fear, and negativity take control, because the world will test you. Life will challenge you, and if you are not prepared, if you have not trained your mind to be strong, to be disciplined, to be resilient, you will break under pressure. You will hesitate when you should move. You will fall apart when you should rise. The key is to train your mind daily, just like an athlete trains their body, just like a musician practices their instrument, just like a master of any craft sharpens their skills. You must strengthen your mental foundation. That means disciplining your thoughts, choosing focus over distraction, mastering your emotions, speaking to yourself with power, and reinforcing yourself every single day. Because your mind is always listening. Every thought you entertain, every word you speak, every action you take is shaping your future. If you constantly allow negativity, doubt, and fear to take over, that is the life you will create. But if you choose strength, if you choose belief, if you choose to control your mind instead of letting it control you, you will build a life of success, of peace, of purpose. The people who achieve greatness, the ones who rise above their circumstances, who break through barriers, who accomplish what others believe is impossible, they are not special. They are not lucky, they are disciplined, they are focused, they have trained their minds to push through difficulty, to stay calm under pressure, to act with confidence even in the face of uncertainty. And that is something you can do too. That is something you must do. Because no one is going to do it for you. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success, hand you peace, hand you the strength you need to overcome the obstacles in your path. That is on you. That is your responsibility. And the moment you take full ownership of your mind, of your actions, of your destiny, that is the moment everything changes. It will not be easy. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when fear tries to pull you back, when your old habits try to resurface. But that is part of the process. Growth is not comfortable. Mastery does not come without struggle. But the struggle is where you build your strength. The struggle is where you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. And every time you push through, every time you rise above, every time you choose discipline over comfort, you reinforce the belief that you are unstoppable. But belief alone is not enough. You must take action. You must apply what you know. You must commit to the process every single day, no matter how you feel, no matter what is happening around you. Because consistency is the foundation of transformation. Small, disciplined actions repeated over time lead to massive results. And that is the secret. That is what separates those who succeed from those who wish. The ones who win are not the ones who talk about it, who dream about it, who wait for the perfect moment. They are the ones who do the work. So ask yourself, are you training your mind every day? Are you staying focused when distractions try to pull you away? Are you pushing yourself when comfort tempts you to slow down? Are you speaking to yourself with power, with belief, with conviction? Because if you are not, now is the time to start. Now is the time to take control of your mind, to strengthen your discipline, to step into the person you were meant to be. It will not happen overnight. It will not be a smooth journey, but if you commit, if you stay consistent, if you refuse to quit no matter how difficult it gets, you will see a transformation. You will develop the ability to remain calm in every situation. You will build the mindset of a winner. You will create a life of success, of confidence, of peace. And one day you will look back and realize that every struggle, every challenge, every moment of doubt was preparing you for the strength you now have. So start today, start now. Train your mind, master your emotions, stay disciplined, and speak to yourself with power. Because your future is waiting. And it will be built by the thoughts you think, the actions you take, and the choices you make from this moment forward. So what do? How do you stay calm when everything around you is chaos? First, you breathe. Deep, slow, steady. You take control of your breath, because that's the first step in taking control of your mind. Second, you pause. Don't react. Don't let your emotions drive the car. Take a step back. Get perspective. Because a calm mind sees solutions that a panicked mind will never find. And third, you trust. You trust that you are built for this. You trust that you can handle it. You trust that this storm will pass, because it will. Greatness is not just about skill. It's not just about talent. It's about composure. It's about discipline. It's about training yourself every day to stay calm no matter what. So the next time life tests you, the next time pressure comes knocking, remember this: you are in control. No one, no situation, no circumstance gets to dictate your peace. Because a calm mind, that's a dangerous mind. That's a powerful mind. And that's the mind that wins. Stay focused, stay strong, stay calm. Thank you.